good evening, everybody. How are you this evening? Welcome back to another seasonal race, race 5 in the Gold Division for the LNR SAGTL South African Gran Turismo League Pro Series. This is Dino here, and thank you for everybody that is going to join, that's going to be watching the series, watching the race, and then let's get everything started. Without further ado, we're running a little bit late here, so I'm going to start the quali on so that we can get it done, and then we can quickly run through the team points, etc. So without further ado, let's get the race going currently. So slightly running about 4 or 5 minutes behind schedule. Qualifying will now start for a solid 10 minutes. Exactly when the timer hits 10 minutes, people will stop on track. Then obviously people with the fastest qualifying time, or the whole grid, will have an opportunity to go change to their tires, and then the race will start. So just quickly doing the standard. No bump draft. Slip. Try to get good luck, and then that should be a good set off for the run. Okay, let's get on track, and then we'll start looking at the gentlemen here. Okay, great, thanks a lot for popping in, guys. Like I said, this is race 5 for the Gold Division. Going to be making some interesting racing going on here. Let's quickly run through the points and pools for the current. Some of these guys are still on the outlap, so let's quickly have a look at the points for the gold team. As you can see there, KBR, Shake and Bake, Fast and Richard currently in P1, with their closest rivals currently is KBR Ghost and D-Man GT, which are 2 different teams. Bluego Racing in a solid position as well. Between KBR Dream Team and KBR Bluego Racing, as you can see at the bottom, team points, only 1 point difference. You've got Sonic and Epic Racing, only 1 point difference. Then KBR Grumpy and the Microwavers. Unfortunately, DMR team was kicked out due to DC from Zivan having internet issues. I'm hoping that it will probably be back here to give a run for the top 6 or the top half of the pack. So without then further ado, let's quickly have a silver A pool, and then see there, as you can see, the B-Rops, as you can note, that is where they are currently at, with 600 points, 43 for Rowdy Raccoons, Backmarker Racing at 468. That's quite interesting. Then we have a look at pool silver pool B. You can see DMR Late Feet, KBR Vintage, KBR Dino Racing, Full Send, advertised here at 446. The top 3 there is DMR M Corporate, DMR Damien Biss, and DMR Wolfman Willie. Then you've got the bronze pool, the casual races, HBR Mean, Johnny V, West Villain, HBR Ram, definitely good racing going on here. Then Vimeister and Marinos, they started a race or 2 later than everybody else, and they are definitely making their mark on here already in 2nd place with a race in hand, or a race shorter, so they should see themselves promoted to the Silver Leagues for at least the last stage or phase of the races. Okay, so let's go back to our racing and see currently how it's going on here. We can run through everybody. They have just started the race. As you can see here, we're going to go to Vitriolic Driz, and then we will select him. Currently, let's just go to Richard, who is the highest ranked person on the track at the moment. His teammate Fast unfortunately is not racing this evening. This is KBR Richard, currently part of the #1 team for the Gold Division. Then we can go down to KBR Hollywood. Hollywood is currently substituting for Fast this evening. Definitely got some big shoes to fill, so he'll probably push it there. Went a little bit wide off the track there. Very interesting indeed. Then we've got D-Man GT's been putting on solid performances the last week or 2. He is our winner from race 4 at Tokyo with a brilliant race there with the Fittipaldi. Definitely pulled the gap from the starts and kept the lead, kept his head cool. And definitely some awesome racing. We hope to see the same action from him this evening. Then we've got JVLR John van Log, one of the guys that's promoted from the silver pool. Definitely in the depths here, but they're enjoying the competition, driving with better drivers and trying to learn and keep up with them as much as possible. A ton of experience is gained, and yet to see a lot from this man in the near future. Then we have Eric, Mr. Eric here. As I can see, he's also from the Silver Pool promoted up. Just give me a second, I need to get his... There we go. Mr. Eric, as you can see, born in 1957 himself, and his teammate Bridgens are together, and he told me this, 127 years together. And you've got Mr. Shoal Snood, who is iCarbons, with iCarbons going down here. We'll quickly get him in order. Not sure why Eric is not going through there. There we go. There we are, John van Log. They are higher. There we got iCarbons dropping in there. We've got Mr. Bridgens, as I spoke now before. There we go with Bridgens. Brilliant person as well. KBR Wolfie, one of the event organizers on the... I'm here currently. It's going down the wrong order. There we go. That's KBR Richard. Apologies for that, gents. Daniel Blom. And then we've got Wolfie with G-Man. Nitro Millen is subbing. This is G-Man. Mr. Harvey Kleinhans definitely also going to put in some time here. Great racing to look for from these gents. We've got KBR Richard, and then we've got Ghost. We will quickly jump to Ghost, who I believe is not here this evening. Oh, there is KBR Ghost, currently in Q2. Brilliant racing, Mr. Vitriolic. Jump down to him in P4. Brilliant, brilliant. Let's get this show on the road. Let's quickly have a look at the PlayStation inputs. There we go. Currently in Q1 is Mr. Richard, followed by KBR Ghost in the 204.2, 2310 separating the two. Fark with his Jaguar, only 8 tenths behind. Vitriolic Driz is second behind the leader with a 205.0. John Van Lockern with a 205.9. We should be aiming for low 203s, 203 flats, and possibly high 202s. For the top level racing, perhaps mid 202s to high 202s. Then we've got D-Man GT at a 205.9 currently, I believe. Yeah, there he's on his purple. Definitely will be able to get that done. I think he went to pits. No, he did not go to pits. In fact, sorry, this is still his outlap. Tires are still in good condition. KBR Hollywood down 17.05. Wolfie Merlin yet to do his lap. 204.8 the previous one. Richard's going to pits, get the tires done. Okay. Interesting to see. KBR Frankfurt with a 204.0. He's going to be parking it. KBR goes for him with a 10th bind with 204.1. D-Man GT putting in a solid 204.1. Frankfurt at the back there. Ooh, with Richard going off and wide, unfortunately. Still holding Q1 by less than a 10th. Less than a 10.50, 10th and a half between first and fourth. KBR Wolfie dropping in with 204.498. Who's passing the line now? It is Nitro Merlin with the fastest lap, 203.940. There's going to be some great racing this evening, ladies and gents. Eric showing great sportsmanship coming out of the pit lanes, giving Merlin gap for his next lap. Great racing going on here. D-Man GT. Let's have a look at him for a bit. See if he has improved it. You guys want to have a look at the onboard of this track. Will make for some interesting racing. Nice line there. Good throttle control. A little bit slow on the exit there. I think he could have carried a little bit more speed there. Let's see nonetheless. If he manages to improve on his lap, the next sector timing will start right under this billboard here. Let's see, has he improved? He has. He's currently on purple. Oh, he's going a little bit wide there. Let's hope he salvages that quite nicely. Get it back, D-Man. Let's push it through, bud. Ooh, good on the exit there. Ah, a little bit of a dip in the RPM there. Should be better perhaps in fourth gear. Let's see if it takes us quite nice inside. Ooh, tail happy. Could go a little bit faster on the exit, pushing the limits. Let's see if he gets it. It'll be great. 2, 3 points. Ooh, 204.033 puts him in Q3 on the podium spot. That will be his last lap. I'm assuming he'll pull over to the back now. Let's see, there's a couple of guys coming past the finish line now. Flakvark finishing in fourth, Ghost in fifth, Wolfie on his last lap. Let's see this. Planted, slow down way too much there. Not even going to the exits there. Wolfie looking with new pedals. He's settling in with his new pedals. Let's go, Wolfie. Get in, boy. Oh, a little bit of an improvement. Not much. Got about 40 seconds left here for this person. He's not going to make another lap. Who else is passing the line? That was Merlin with a slightly slower lap. And who else is passing the line just now? Great stuff. That was Eric PhD. Unfortunately not improving on his lap time. I'm not sure why Carbon's pulled into the pits. Okay, we will quickly get this done. Everybody's already ready. Pit 4 tires. Pass sector 1. Just so that the track can be reset. Everybody will pit 4 tires. Put on their preferred race. This race is 18 laps. Racing softs, racing mediums, and racing hards. Every single compound is compulsory. At least 1 lap has to be run on that. So this is going to be interesting to see which strategy some people will pull off here. Looks like certain people will go. D-Man staying on his softs. John is going on mediums. G-Man starting on the racing hards. Fark on the hards. Bridgens on the hards. Wolfie on the mediums. Hollywood on the mediums. Just on the mediums. Ghost on the mediums. Eric on racing hards. Nitro Millen's going out on the racing softs. He is in the lead. He wants to push that through. Pass sector 1. iCarbon's going out in racing hards. Pass sector 1, boys. Pass sector 1. Pass sector 1. It's going to be making for some interesting racing. Really, really interesting racing. Just want everybody to pass sector 1. Not sure what happened to Ghost there. He's on auto drive. Ghost is on auto drive. We're just going to have to wait for him to pass sector 1. So the timings can be captured. This is going to be making for some interesting racing, boys. Welcome to the chat. Thank you, Mr. Koketsuplani. Believe the silver pool was showed some class this evening. Nonetheless, everybody in this league at least is growing. Everybody's getting faster, better, driving with some of the better guys, and this is exactly what we want. Everybody has gone through. I'm just quickly having a look at the live timing sheets here, taking a screenshot for record purposes. With iCarbon's not having a lap time shared, unfortunately. Not putting in a lap time, and he's was on a purple sector 1. And that was interesting. Maybe he just flunked a lap or 2. So let's see how far he gets up from the rear. With that lap time, sector 1, definitely somebody to watch. Good luck. Let's get the race started. I almost entered the race. That was not going to be good. So let's get a spectator. Good luck, boys. Have a good race. And the race is on. Let's see the predictions, guys. If you can put the predictions up here. Remember, Flash for the first is not here this evening. He is being assisted or subbed by KBR Hollywood. This is the screen. This is the racing. This is not the right setup. Somebody's got the setting up the right way. They need to exit. Lobby settings. I hate that you copy it and then it's not set to that, it's set to grid order. It should be on fastest first, unfortunately. I've got the order at least. Let's get it done, let's get it done, let's get it done. Should be quickly, should be quick, should be quick, it should be quick. Gonna put it on grid order first. Get it done, should be in grid order. I think there might have been problems with Wolfie's lobby that he had to put it on grid order. Should have checked first. Let's quickly go. Let's get the race going. Let's get the race going. Wolfie, 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 enter. There we go. So as I could remember, let me put the first before I go to the screen. It was Nitro Merlin, followed by Richard, followed by D-Man, and then for fourth I didn't quite Memorize. Let's quickly have a look here. It was Flocky Ghost Wolfie. Flocky Ghost Wolfie. Flocky Ghost Wolfie. I think I saw Vitriolic Drizz's name there. My peripheral vision. Let's hope it was correct. It was correct. Hollywood G-Man Bridgens John. Hollywood G-Man Bridgens John. Hollywood Bridgens G-Man John Eric. Okay, I think that should be right. Just have a look. And just to confirm, it is John Eric Corbins. Corbins should be last. I didn't see Corbins' name here. Corbins, there we go. Flocky Ghost. At the bottom. There we go. Perfect, that looks great. There you go. Double checking, confirming. Eric Corbins. Okay, perfect. Race is set, let's go. Great stuff, let's get this ball in the roll and let's get this sorted. Okay, let's hope for the best. Let's get the spectators. Races on the road. Let's have a look. Let's get this sorted. Merlin currently on the inside line. This is going to be very interesting to see. Let's have a look to see what's going to happen. Merlin reaches D-Man, Flucky, Ghost, Wolfie, Dressed, Hollywood. That is the top 8 of the grid. Everybody's off. No 80s, no 80s, no 80s. D-Man's on the inside. He's going to push on the inside. He's going to make the move on the inside. Let's see if he's going to be pushing for the inside. Okay, it seems to be slightly clear, no incidents, smooth trailing, everything's going gone. Merlin, perfect. Richard, D-Man, Flucky, Ghost, Wolfie, running through everybody, getting that sorted. Okay, looks like it's all clear. Perfect, let's put ourselves on D-Man so we can see the top 2 as well as people behind him. Great racing, looks like D-Man has already made a gap, broken the slipstream to Flakvark. Top 3 guys are on softs though. Softs, Richards is on mediums. Mediums is good. Risky but good, there we go. Outbroke himself on the inside because he's on mediums. Lost his position. This should have given Nitro Mill in the gap ahead. It's going to be great racing. D-Man GT managed to make his move past Richard, who was on the mediums. To make sure he doesn't hold him back. He did, however. Here's the slipstream to Nitro Merlin. Okay, race is set, so let's have a look. Between everybody, looks like it's going good. Hollywood making a move on the inside of G-Man. This is going to be interesting. Can he pull it off? Can he pull it off? Let's see. Going on the inside, down the hairpin. Decides to back it off. Good move. He doesn't want to have Carbons catch up yet. They are breaking the slipstream. They should not fight now. Carbons from last place currently to 10th. Man on the move. Man on the move. He's definitely wanting to push ahead. Trying to break the slipstream of John Verlog and catch up to the guys ahead after having a bad qualifying. Definitely is going to be good for BGR, Mr. Bluego Racing. So let's have a look, go to the front again. Nitro Mill has pushed the gap to 1.2. Richard is sticking with D-Man GT on the softs, and Richard himself is on the mediums. He's going to be making for some great racing. Let's have a look at some cockpit view, cockpit action here. Interesting. Okay, seems like Richard now might start losing a little bit of a gap unless he does perfect cornering and sticks it in. He does stick it in the slipstream and stay in the slipstream with D-Man GT. That is brilliant racing with the mediums to go around that tight section. Still being able to keep up. There, D-Man GT had a little bit of a aggressive entry, almost lost the slipstream. Is he going to lose it? 720, 730. Remember, 750, it's lost. Nope. Looks like KB Richard is still inside. He's probably going to try and keep it in tight and narrow on the inside to remain in the slipstream range. And that should see D-Man now. Yeah, D-Man has now pushed it off. It is only inevitable with the racing softs. Richard has done brilliantly well though to keep up with the mediums, and he is clear. Next mediums is KBR Ghost at the moment. Clear of 610s ahead of Wolfie also on the mediums. Drizzt on the mediums. Massive train forming here with Hollywood in 7th. John van Log here. KBR Vlakvark. John van Log in 8th position currently. Oh, I believe that was the people on hards that have pitted now. That is the truth. That is correct. They have pitted. They've put on their medium tires. They have done their 1 lap compulsory on racing hards. And this is going to be interesting to see where they come out after their medium stints, after the gents in front on the mediums and the softs pit and come out. Let's see if this clean air can get them into a perfect gap. Let's go back to the front. D-Man GT is now starting to push back on that gap of Nitro Merlin. D-Man GT is starting to make moves on Nitro Merlin, definitely pushing hard. Merlin is keeping it slow, steady, smooth. With a 2 of 4.1, D-Man GT with a 2 of 3.9, definitely pushing quality laps here. He wants to get that gap down, he wants to get into the slipstream, and then he will start relaxing and chilling a little bit. Brilliant racing there. KBR goes 1.4 seconds down. Wolfie 1.1 seconds down. So you would probably see 1 laps on hard here, then the rest of the 17 laps probably see a 9-8 split, 10-7 split, or a further split of 11-6. Let's see which people will push the softs further and which people will put the mediums further, which will go for the undercut, which will go for the overcut. This is definitely going to be interesting racing. Okay, some good racing seems to be going on here between Vitriolic Drizzt putting some pressure on KBR Wolfie, or Hollywood putting some pressure on Vitriolic Drizzt, unfortunate. This means great racing, and then JVLR, John van Log on his racing mediums with his Porsche. Lovely, lovely liveries. Yes, Mr. Sharks, you are 100% correct. This is some interesting racing. I think Richard is in an incredibly strong position with his racing mediums. Up in 3rd, not trailing, not losing too much of those racing soft tires. As you might see, the softs starting to wear out closer to the end of the soft stint. They might do the same or similar lap times to the mediums, and then it's going to be a chase or a hunt down for Richard at the end, where he'll probably be on his soft stint trying to catch up to these guys on their mediums or their hards. It's going to be super interesting racing, and I cannot wait for it to transpire. Jumping to the front here, there's some close racing going on here. Ghost snuck in or tightly in between Vitriolic, Drizzt and KBR Hollywood. Only 3/10 separating to the front and to the rear. This is tight. With KBR Wolfie just about out of slipstream of Vitriolic Drizzt now. Looks like Drizzt might catch it back up. Everything's going to depend on this last corner. Did Wolfie nail it? It seems like he had a good exit there. He does indeed break the train from Vitriolic. He's 9/10 ahead. Vitriolic is going for the move on the inside of KBR Ghost. Let's see if he's going to put it off cleanly. He does, he does, he does. Great move on the inside by Vitriolic Drizzt. Himself and his partner has pushed themselves into... Well, that was Ghost, unfortunately, sorry, making a move on Drizzt. I just got confused with the deliveries now. It is Ghost who made a move on Vitriolic Drizzt. Great racing. Wolfie and Ghost, who are teammates, currently in a very strong position as well, 4 seconds behind the number 1 ranked currently in the teams with KBR Richard in 3rd place with his racing mediums. Only 2.7 seconds behind D-Man GT, who's only 780 behind Nitro Merlin. Merlin is saving a significant amount more fuel than D-Man GT. D-Man GT's M4 is one of the cars that's best on the fuel. However, he is pushing quite hard at the moment to try and catch up to Merlin, and that is perhaps going to cost him a little bit. His tyres also a little bit worse off than Merlin. However, he wants to put the pressure on Merlin, maybe hoping that Merlin will make a mistake. Goes in deep. He does get the slipstream from Nitro Merlin, maybe making a little mistake on the hairpin. This will put D-Man right into his slipstream. About a 5, 6, 7% difference in fuel and a little bit more tire wear. Tire wear is basically equal at this moment, so everything's going to depend on fuel. D-Man pushing quite hard. He's putting the pressure under Merlin. Will that strategy or tactic work? Will Merlin be able to handle the pressure, or will he fall? This is going to be interesting. Richard with 3.3 seconds behind on the racing mediums. This is definitely going to make for some interesting racing. Let's have a look at the fuel situation for Richard. They're exactly the same as Merlin at the moment, with D-Man pushing a little bit on that. This is great. He's now half a second behind Nitro Merlin, definitely putting on the pressure, showing his raw pace here after last week's win. He's not going to give up without a fight, and he is putting himself right there, right in the rearview mirror of Nitro Merlin. Let's have a look to go back a bit. Here we've got Wolfie, only 8 tenths ahead of KBR Ghost, ahead half a second only ahead of Drizzt, only 4 tenths to KBR Hollywood. This is a massive train battling for 4th position here. Great racing. John van Log and KBR Vlakvark. Vlakvark is currently leading the first lap pitters. This is definitely going to be making for some interesting racing. Apologies for that notification. Carbons at 3.7 seconds behind, getting put under pressure by G-Man. Let's have a look at the fuel difference, just over half. G-Man has got a lot more fuel. However, Carbon's tire wear is significantly better. He's keeping it smooth and steady. Let's have a look here to see if G-Man will be making some moves going down this straight here. Having a look at the mini-map, the positions have settled in. Got the first two with their racing softs, Merlin, D-Man having a go at it. Richard having a massive gap, about 4.5 seconds, with his mediums currently towards the other mediums runners. With John van Log running about another 4 seconds behind with his racing mediums. So from P3 to John van Log in P8, all are in mediums. Richard has broken a significant gap ahead. The rest of the four are neck and neck with each other, and then John van Log slightly behind on his racing mediums. So then you have KBR Vlakvark, who has done his first lap pitting as well, in the strongest position currently, having done his racing hards lap. It's going to be super interesting to see where he gets out and comes out. His lap times have been super consistent. 2:04.8, 2:05.9, 2:05.5. And let's see when the other people pit where he comes out. Does he jump them with his undercut with the racing hards and lap ones? It's going to be quite interesting to see. Just watch out for Richard as well. I think the battle for the top 3 is going to be significant. It's really going to be significant. Richard is doing some proper racing. 4.952, 4.748. Incredibly consistent. John van Log is going to be the first of the medium lap pitters, doing 6 laps on the mediums, or end of 5 laps. He's pitting there. 5 mediums. Not sure how many laps he's going to do the hards and the softs. Richard's currently only 4.3 seconds behind the racing softs people. Ooh, going a little bit wide on exit. That means his tires are going to be a little bit worn and dirty at the bottom here. Let's just quickly change the camera type to variable. Now let's see the front battle here. This seems to be very close. D-Man GT is putting a little bit of pressure on Merlin. Merlin's got a little bit more fuel there. Maybe he's pushing a little bit harder as well, just because of the pressure of D-Man GT. D-Man GT definitely making a good move now. If I was D-Man GT, I would try not to make a move, but maybe just sit behind him and save some fuel to balance that fuel levels out, or make a move and try and get a gap ahead. Very risky and aggressive, but either could work if it is nailed and pulled off perfect. As you can see, this Aston Martin with a Lucky Strike livery, definitely sexy as well. D-Man with the BMW M4, sticking himself right there like Velcro, does not let go if he's got you in the grips. Going to be very interesting racing. Let's see if these guys come in at end of lap 6, end of lap 7. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. Definitely going to be interesting to see. So okay, only 4/10. Looks like all of them are stretching onto the 7th lap. D-Man is definitely not letting Merlin go. He is not letting Merlin go. It's going to be made for some very, very interesting racing, and I really can't wait to see. Okay, only 610, still nothing in it. Tire wear of Merlin is about only 2-3 pixels difference. It is really going to be a close one. Ooh, D-Man GT a little bit bad on those S's. He just manages to stay in the 750 slipstream range, and that should see him being pulled back in down this massive straight. Again, it's going to be super racing, as you can see that delta climbing down from 7 tenths to about 5 tenths by the end of the straight, due to the slipstream effect. Great racing from Merlin. Shouldn't change his tactics, should just stick to his strategy. Keep it cool, keep it calm, keep it collective. He knows D-Man is a super worthy opponent and he should not try to get rattled and keep the race. The race is not done yet. We're not even halfway through the race yet, and there's a long way to go. Set yourself in, set yourself up. Don't worry about D-Man, worry about Richard and Wolfie and those guys who are not being seen at the moment with their pit stop strategies. To battle now would not be good, so it's going to be interesting to see. I believe they might come into the pits this lap or perhaps the next, but I think this lap is probably going to be the optimum time to come in. Let's have a look and see. Merlin is staying out, D-Man is staying out. Good. I did forget they are on racing softs. Apologies, I was thinking on mediums. So let's have a look at the racing. They should probably reach to 9, 10 laps. 8, 9 or 10 laps. Depends on tyre wear and the fluctuations of that. Richard only 4.95 seconds behind. He is incredibly consistent at the moment. 4.9, 5.2, 4.7, 4.8, 5.8. A little bit of a wishy-wash there with his exit. And then a 5.1. So within 4 tenths apart from lap 6. Wolf with 5.8 seconds. KBR goes. These two are pulling a gap on Drizzt and Hollywood. 1 second. Fluck only 13 seconds behind, with Carbons 1.8 seconds behind him. Carbons has definitely made a massive move with regard to the last few laps. He's broken slipstream to G-Man. Definitely had some pressure from G-Man a little bit earlier on. Seems like he has shaken him off, and now he's on the charge. He's on the charge. Let us see where he comes out after the pit stops. G-Man shortly behind with 5.4 seconds to Bridgens, and then 9 seconds to Eric, as well as 13 seconds to JVLR John Van Log, who has gone for his final pit. It seems it looks like he might be going for a massively long first stop. I believe actually he stopped on lap 5 as well, so he's going for an incredibly long soft stint, probably doing a long short or long slow and steady stint, try and get himself out of traffic. D-Man GT and Nitro Milling still going at it. 6 tenths difference. This is going to be brilliant. This is really going to be brilliant racing. Let's see what they can do. But BGR D-Man GT is on it, on the rise with his teammate Carbons, not bringing a quali lap, but definitely shaking up the mid to low pack currently, and you should definitely see him in the top half of this pack, if not better. Guys, give me your predictions for the top 5. What are your predictions for the top 5? Put them in. Also, please click on the like button. It takes you a second. Click the like button. Whoever's going to watch the replay or the stream tomorrow or this evening after the race, please click on the like button. Just do it. D-Man GT with a 10th behind him. Is he going to go for the move on the inside? Of course he is. Ooh, he decided to lift back. He just showed or pipped his nose in there. Merlin probably had a bad exit on the last corner. Gave D-Man GT all the time to come back in. Looks like all the medium lappers have gone to their stops now. Merlin and D-Man are yet to stop. As you can see there, Richard and Ghost on 30% fuel, Wolfie on 27, all the other guys on slightly less fuel. So you would see Richard, Wolfie and Ghost get about a second to everybody else that has about 5, 6, 7% less than them on fuel at the pit stop. D-Man GT just keeping the pressure. They're not making silly moves, keeping it there, knowing his battle is only for the last few laps, not to scrap now or lose time now, as the race will only be done at the last stop to see who's going to go where. The question is, between these two, which one is going to go on racing hards, Which one is going to go on the racing mediums? The gap already ahead is significant enough. I would go racing mediums and then only do a pit stop later on. If you pit on hards now, do your lap and pits again, you might see yourself come in behind traffic on your racing mediums, which is supposed to be the fastest. And rather do the mediums now, keep that gap and only wait for the last pit stop to see who's going to go inside or outside. Merlin not defending that position at all, not wanting to lose time. He will keep the pressure there, perhaps knowing he's got a little bit more fuel than D-Man, a significant amount more fuel than D-Man. They are enjoying this, I guarantee you. These two are enjoying this. It's going to be up to Richard, who's now currently on racing hards. He's going to be doing his one lapper. Very risky strategy here. He wants to keep his softs for the last stint. If he pits now on his racing hards, he might see himself come behind in traffic on his racing soft stint. And he might have to make some do with a few people. It's going to be very interesting to see. Perhaps should have gone on his racing softs and have pushed and only have to battle with one or two people at the end, whereas now he might end up in the mid pack having to battle with a few more. Nitro Millen is going on laps 9, currently on 26%. Going to be interesting. Needs to fuel it perfectly. Richard will most likely come out ahead of him, but he won't because Richard is doing a one lapper on hard. So Richard will be able to catch up to these guys at the end. Looks like Millen has also put on his racing hards. Now it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting to see where Merlin will come out and then Richard for the last stint, as Richard is going to have to chase Merlin down. Richard will be on the racing softs, Merlin will be on the racing mediums, and let's see where D-Man and GT pits in, as there was only 6/10 difference between D-Man and GT. D-Man and GT just started going for that one lap extra. Nitro Million just doing not even a splash and dash, just doing tire change, not putting in extra fuel. Wants to keep the racing hards as low as possible on his fuel. As expected, Richard has come out behind Bridgens on his racing softs, which is fine and okay. It looks like he's going to have clean air. He's going to have clean air, not going to have any hassles with that. He's on his last stint now. No traffic ahead, and this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a three-way split. I believe Richard might have gotten clean air the whole race. Perfectly executed strats, and you might see him pip both D-Man GT and Nitro Merlin. It's going to be interesting to see if D-Man GT is going to fill up and go on his mediums, or he's going to do a one lapper on his racing hards only. We should see Merlin having the lead for the foreseeable future until the last two laps, where Richard might be able to catch up with him. He'll be on his worn racing softs, and Merlin will be on semi-worn racing mediums. D-Man GT is in. Let us have a look to see what he is putting in for fuel. If he's putting in fuel, if he's changing to the racing hards. If he's chasing the racing hards, he will come out just behind Richard and then hope he can catch up to Merlin as well. Changing tires. He's putting fuel. Looks like he will be going on his racing mediums currently. Does look like he's going in his racing mediums. Yes, it looks like he's keeping his racing hard stop for the end. A little bit of a smarter move, which means he's going to have clean air all the way through. Now it's going to see how far Richard comes out behind Merlin, and that is the gap. They will be chasing down. .4 seconds, 3 seconds. Brilliant racing from Richard. You should see Richard catch up to Merlin approximately by laps 15, 16. Perhaps earlier. Great racing from Richard so far. Great racing from Richard. Merlin has just got out ahead of that. D-Man GT will lose the positions to Nitro Merlin and Richard with his tire change. However, if D-Man filled up for the rest of the race, you wouldn't have to put fuel, and then the pit stop is about 12 seconds for tire change only, which might see him come right at the rear of either one of these two gents. Richard is on the faster tire currently, and he should be able to catch up to Merlin in the next 3 laps, 4 laps perhaps, maybe a lap, so we will see. Richard did have the consistency, had no pressure, had clean air from the start. So this should go down to the wire. But I do believe if it's mistake free, Richard would have it in the next 3-4 laps. Probably build a little bit on that again, and then it should equalize going towards the end. Merlin currently on his cold medium tires on his first out lap. Takes about a lap or two to settle. But I do believe when D-Man GT does go and pit, comes out with his racing hards, he should come out behind these two gentlemen. Unfortunately using a little bit more fuel, I believe, but like we said, he's got the pace. Maybe he's pushing a few laps in with his mediums, and it's going to be interesting racing. This top 3 is definitely cracking it out. Ghost currently is 8.9 seconds behind. Wolfie, his teammate, is 0.4. Flark, as you can see, just in the rear view, only trailing by 1.7. KBR or Hollywood just by 2.3, with G-Man following him shortly by 2 seconds. And iCarbons currently in 9th from last place on the racing softs, behind G-Man on the racing softs. Everybody's on the racing softs on their last stints, it seems, so it's going to be increasing racing. Carbons, he's going to go for a move on the inside, only 2.5. No, he's lifting a little bit. To a 3.8. Fastest lap is to a 3.6 by Richard. Seems like he'll get a +1. Merlin already has a +1 for his qualifying in pole. John Van Log has done a lot of jumping. His tyres are going to be a little bit worn, but his undercuts have seen him jump about 2-3 people. Brilliant racing. It's going to be very interesting to see. John Van Log might lose a few seconds at the end to everybody, but he's got that gap of about 9 seconds. So he should be in a safe space, just not pushing anymore at all. Let's see the gap where it's all counting. 1.2 seconds from Richard to Merlin. Again, maybe in the next lap or two, he should have caught up with him. D-Man is currently flying on those mediums, only losing a second to Nitro Merlin as it stands. Guys, please remember to click the like button. For those who haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe as well. Just click the like button, it'll be great. Appreciate that. We've got 16 people viewing, we've got 8 likes. Let's hit that button, click the like. Only 0.6. Richard is pushing quite hard, so he is caught up to Merlin slightly earlier than expected, which is great. Let's see if he's heavy on the tires. He's a little bit heavy on his tires, but should see him nonetheless. As we know, the M4 as well as the Toyota 86s are incredibly strong around this track with this combo. The Aston Martins or the Jaguars, about mid-package type car, so it's brilliant racing from Merlin to be able to have kept it on for this long. He's going to go slightly defensive, and he'll pull out back to the outside. Let's see if he keeps it on the outside. He does. Ooh, nice little scrapping going on there. Richard's going on the left. He should have the inside line for the next corner. Should be a double left. Merlin's not battling with him. I think he just let him go. So he's going to try and settle for P2. Great racing from these two gentlemen. Amazing overtake. That is brilliant racing. These two gents are thoroughly enjoying themselves. The M4s are definitely showing its progress here. Between itself and the Toyota 86, there would have been very strong cars for this specific combo. All other combos, power combos, etc., the Aston Martin should be stronger on other races. So very, very equally spread. This is going to be making for some interesting racing. Kudos to Nitro Merlin. Let's see where the other M4 comes out with D-Man GT 12.8, keeping a solid gap. This 1 second might have seen himself doing that. Ooh, Richard unfortunately has a 0.5 penalty. He needs to burn that before the end of the race in the next 5 laps. Off the racing line. He's going to be going slightly defensive, trying to break the slipstream of Nitro Merlin. Trying to do a little shimmy shake. These two have a ton of respect for themselves. For each other, rather. Very interesting racing going on, yeah. I think he should have secured that gap and that overtake. Apart from the penalty birding, let's have a look at the rest. Wolfie, 5 tenths ahead of Ghost. They changed positions yet again. 1.9 to Flockies, 4 to Hollywood, 0.8. This is close. This is close. Let's have a look here. What's going on here? Carbon's making a double overtake on the inside on Hollywood and G-Man. Are they going to allow this? Carbon's making tremendous moves from Mr. Scholl himself here. Brilliant execution. This man is on the charge. 3.9 seconds KBR Flokvark, who had a brilliant qualifying, which does mean he has got some pace. So let's see. 4 seconds in about 5 laps for Carbons to make up to Flokvark. Did this traffic keep him behind a little bit? It is going to be an all-out warfare for him to get into the top 6 for this racing. Brilliant racing from Mr. Scholl Schnur himself. Great overtake. And the push is on. Let's see where it ends up in a little bit. G-Man, Hollywood, 2 different teams. Only 4 tenths separating the 2. John Van Logel lost about 3.3 seconds and lost about 2 seconds to Bridgens. However, only 4 laps to go. Is his tyres going to hold up? His tyres are slightly worse, having gone on a very long stint. Get himself in clean air. Did a massive undercut. Let's see. Vitriolic 12 seconds, Eric 6 seconds behind. Let's have a look how this gap is playing out. D-Man GT will definitely lose position to Richard, maybe Merlin, but I think his pace was quite significant. But you can see here, look at the consistency, 204.9, 5.2, 4.2, 5.2, 5.5, about 17 slip rating it. Could get a little bit more consistent than that. However, remember, he did push to get that gap through after Richard with the racing mediums did hamper him from staying in the slip from the start with Merlin. So he had no choice to push a little bit to catch up to Merlin. Did a stunning overtake as well, closer to the end of the stint. On the white side there. Let's have a look at the current fastest person. Let's enjoy a lap with him on board from his last lap. Let's look at his lap 15, slightly more tires, about 35% fuel. Let's have a look at the smoothness and then have fun and enjoy. Very good on his exits there, taking lower gear, second, then up to third. Short shift and nice little left on the coast through that corner, keep it to the left. Opens up this corner, you can cut this significantly. Exits it out wide. Oh, he's going to go a little bit wide. He might have dirty tires at the bottom of this corner here. If your right wheels don't stay on the apex, on the curb there, at the bottom here, you might find yourself outbraking yourself due to the dirty tires, which you can see has happened here a little bit. On the wide side, good recovery from him though, good recovery from him. Smooth out and wide. Keeping it in 4th. Smooth. Going a little bit wide. Early upshift to 5th. To keep it stable. Lifting as his line was slightly compromised. Going wide at the exit there. After this lap, we'll have a look at the current Q3 position. Going very wide on his entry there. Opens up this next corner brilliantly. Exits perfectly. Very wide, greatly taken. Now let's see if the Racing Softs tyre wear will hold up to the Racing Mediums of Merlin behind. Very smooth, slight on the inside, early upshift. Runs out nice and wide. Going wide on the entry as well. Very smooth. Good on the throttle, gets himself out here. Goes to 3rd just to bring the car back in. Went slightly, popping it down to 3rd. So let's have a look. Let's see how it takes his last corner. Upshift to 5th, or 6th rather, down to 4th. Nice cut, great exit. Early upshift to 5th to settle the car. Brilliant racing from him. Tyre drop off or lap time drop off. Not that much, doing a 205.0. Let's jump to Merlin's on board and have a look at the difference in gearing between the Aston Martin and the BMW, which the Aston Martin has one slight less gear. Only 6 where the BMW's got. That's why you'll see first gear going down here. Brings it out in 1st. Nice and smooth. The grunt. Not sure why he goes down to 2nd gear. They should stick it in 3rd. 2.2 seconds separating himself. Late on the brakes there. Brings it out wide. Gets an angle. Has to lift there, carry a little bit too much speed. Very nice and smooth exit there. As you can see, the gearing nice and short, fuel management. We should see D-Man GT pitting at the end of the next lap. Having a look at the minimap, no real contentions now, little pods and pieces. No real signs of moves being made. Does look like Richard might have this. The gap in front is a rather significant 2.5. Might see it equal out and not get that second per lap. Maybe only 2 or 3 tenths due to the tyre wear of the softs. Nice little early upshift to 4th gear, very smooth, using the power of this car. Nice exit, keeping out onto the left. Upshift to 5th. Nice and late downshift to 4th gear. Getting good exit on the rotation. We can jump with a lap of D-Man GT with his M4, currently on racing mediums as well, and compare it to Richard. Nice and 4th gear, goes a bit deep on the inside. 3rd gear, nice and smooth. Oh, a little bit on the wide side. Managed to recover well. Just to have a reference of driving styles, move smoothness, aggressiveness. Nice, very nice downshifts. Very good on his throttle, always been good on his throttle and braking inputs. Up to 5th, wait, downshift 4th. A little bit early to 4th, which is fine. Very smooth on the throttle, building himself up to take this whole sector flat. Nice cutting on the inside. Perfect line hitting it through there. Very perfect line hitting it through those S's. Keep it smooth, go out wide left. Brilliant. That was brilliantly executed. That S sector couldn't have been nailed any better than that. Smooth racing. Well done, Mr. Daniel. Let's see how it takes his bottom hairpin. Nice and gentle on the downshifts. Ooh, could have carried a little bit more speed on the exit there. Very smooth though, not smashing his tyres. Tuck it in on the inside. Cuts a little bit on the inside right here. Run it out wide to the left. Very nicely done. Nice 5th, 4th gear here. Nice and smooth. Build up your throttle. Well executed. Drop it to 3rd, up to 4th. Ooh, should go up to 4th. They carry a lot more speed. Line was perfect. Just an upshift to 4th. Would allow him to get on the throttle early and carry much more speed to the exit. Goes a little bit deep and wide on the exit there. Slows down. He's probably going to slow down for the pits. That is correct. You will probably come out about a second. Let's say about a second behind Merlin. Oh, it's going to be very close between the two. It's going to be very close between these two gens. If I remember correctly, it is a 12-second pit stop. 12 or 16, no, it's a 16-second pit stop. Tyres only, so you should come out significantly behind. Richard still has his 0.5 penalty to burn. It's not going to make a massive difference in the end. Great racing. Going a little bit wide again, which means his tyres should be a little dirty at the end again now. Murder with good tyres. D-Man GT only 2 seconds ahead of Ghost, who's only racing soft. D-Man on cold racing hard tyres. This is going to be interesting. Who knows? I don't think it's going to be a 2.6 second gap difference. If D-Man outbrakes himself on his cold racing hards, he might take significantly gap if Ghost doesn't go wide. And aggressive and mess up this corner. He could have been closer. He could have been much closer. D-Man GT nailed these cold hards there. Great racing from everybody. I think, not having a commentator's curse, I think they should settle it. Regarding the pods, Wolfie and Ghost are teammates. I don't think they'll be battling each other significantly. For Carbon's to 7th, from 13th to 7th. A great race from him, great salvation, driving through traffic, having a lot of battles. Otherwise, you could have seen him perhaps have a nice P5, 6 without the traffic. If he qualified up front, the race would have been on for podium. Bridgens, Hollywood. Drizzt is right behind Hollywood. I believe they are teammates. No, they are not. They are not. Hollywood is subbing for Mr. Farshwater Fist at the moment. So Vicholic Drizzt might be making a move on Hollywood. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see. Yeah, definitely Hollywood will go defensive. He's made his inside move. Vicholic should make a move on the back inside. If Hollywood comes back in, he can't defend again. That was a double move from Hollywood. Standard racing rule. There goes Richard over the line. I don't know why I missed that. Richard 2.4 seconds with Merlin. D-Man GT with 5 seconds difference. Great racing from these three. Ghost at 2.7 seconds. Trailing by Wolfie. Flockfark in 6th. Carbons in 7th. Great race from this gentleman. G-Man in 8th. Followed by John van Loo. Great racing from himself as well in P9 with a super long stint on the softs to have gotten himself out of the traffic. Rather said, let me risk a little bit more tyre wear at the end by getting myself into clean air. Bridgens closes up the top 10. He will be very happy with that. Gabriel Hollywood has defended off Vicholic Drizzt perfectly. Let's have a look what happened there. And then we've got Eric with plus 17 seconds. Great racing from everyone. A general rule defending on the straights is if you go to the inside, that is considered your one move. If you veer back to the outside line, you cannot go back to the inside again to defend. You can make one move, so rather stick it out on the inside until it is late as possible. The guy cannot come past you on the inside again. Great racing from everybody. I think this was awesome. I think the racing was done well. Merlin have proved himself great with that Aston Martin. Richard super consistent. Great race expected. D-Man GT from last week's win has definitely made himself to be known, and he's told the boys, listen here boys, I am here to race and battle. So there we go, have a look at the race results. It is KBR Richard, Nitro Merlin, D-Man GT, Ghost in 4th. Wolfie, Flockvark closes off 5th and 6th. Great racing from Ghost and Wolfie, super team points for them. Flockvark Carbons, and then KBR G-Man. Carbons had a brilliant race coming back from 13th. Then you've got John Flog in 9th with a super long undercut. Definitely assistant work for him. Bridgens would be very chuffed with his 10th place. Hollywood Drizzt and Eric BHT at the end. Great race to finish it off. That was awesome racing. And I am chuffed that this racing was so hot, so awesome. I really like it. What are your thoughts about the race, gents? Please let me know. Just save replays. Please save and share replays. Replays, I always say that. I think the gents had super fun racing. Merlin and Richard definitely had to go at each other. They really appreciated that. They always enjoy it. And that is great. So I'm just quickly going to be sending that, guys, for the stream. Please, let's just take a round again for Zappa. Saying thank you very much to Zappa. The Zappa Revolution is here. Remember to please go and support them in zappagaming.co.za. They are the sponsor of the Gran Turismo 7 game that will be given. They also have a Facebook page. Typically have a look at that. They are sponsoring the Gran Turismo 7. I believe it's in the top 16 people of the league. There will be a raffle. I just have to confirm with that, but it will be a raffle for people in the top. I believe it's the top 16. I might be mistaken. I'll just have a look for that for you guys. Please do go support zappagaming.co.za. They have a Facebook page. They've got a few Facebook pages, but the biggest one is Zappa Gaming. They've got about 10,000 followers on their Facebook page. Anything related to gaming, PCs, any games, regardless, arcade, cell phone. It is a massively nice community. DJ Hey Salmon running a good culture there. So definitely up and thanks to them. Remember that. And then let's kick it off with the GT7 trailer for the people who aren't familiar with Gran Turismo 7. This is a little bit of Telebite. So thanks to all gents. Have yourself a fun one. And then good night, cheers, and goodbye.
competition.